whether I view this period, the Oregon story, as kind of a one-off, or do I see possibilities of today or at other times of which Oregon has really had the leadership to do what was done during that time. I would say yes and no. Clearly, it was a one-off. I don't think that any other period in Oregon history compares to it in terms of activism creating major policies and legislation. But that doesn't mean we can't do other very serious legislation, very serious policies to deal with today's problems. You know, our environment is in pretty decent shape in Oregon now, but the problems we have today, I think, are much more difficult to solve. You start talking about income inequity. You start talking about homelessness and the problem of trying to finance a school system that is dealing with much more difficult educational issues than we dealt with in the 1970s. And it's very difficult to negotiate some of the agreements across party lines and across urban versus rural lines than we did in the 1970s. I don't know the leaders in Oregon anymore. I'm sorry. We've been living in Bellingham, Washington for 25 years now. I went up there to teach, and we stayed. Our families are still here, and they're prospering in this great state. And I still know a few of the players, but not very many. I'm impressed with the new generation of activists among the millennial generation. And I don't mean the people who are going out and trashing the public demonstration or creating some sort of a violent confrontation. That is such a fringe element. I mean the kids who got together, well, the Bernieistas in the presidential election. In both states, young millennials have been behind efforts to shut down fossil fuels and deal with climate change. I think there's a lot of promise in this generation, and I think they set their goals and priorities in the right places. I'm very, very encouraged. I think we still need leadership. We always need leadership, but this is a group that's ready to perform. I think I'm very, very encouraged by it.